Here's a tip from a successful businessman. The idea that our tax savings would somehow magically end up in your pockets is, well, magically naive. When he was selling his trickle-down tax plan, President Trump promised you a $4,000 raise.
This change, along with a lower business tax rate, would likely give the typical American household around a $4,000 pay raise.
At least $4,000, Speaker Paul Ryan promised on his official website. So now that rich folks like me have gotten trillions in tax cuts, you may be wondering when you're getting your $4,000 raise. Well, keep wondering, because that's not how capitalism works. Because Donald Trump's not going to be the one to decide whether you get a raise. It's actually the job of people like me. And take it from someone who's helped run over 3 dozen companies. People like me never give out raises because we can. We give out raises only when we have to. We give raises when we fear losing employees to a competitor, or when the government requires us to do so by, for example, raising the minimum wage. But we never pay you more just because our taxes go down or our profits go up. That's because we don't pay you what you're worth or what you deserve. We pay you what you can negotiate. And unless you're one of the lucky few who's a software engineer or a superstar athlete or a union member, you don't have the power to negotiate jack squat. So that $4,000 raise Republicans promised you was just another trickle-down scam. You see, for decades, trickle-downers have relentlessly promised that if you cut taxes on rich people like me, our windfall profits will magically turn into more jobs and higher wages for people like you. It's as predictable as the tides, they'll tell you.
A rising tide lifts all boats.
And yet the only thing this trickle-down tide has lifted is a fleet of luxury yachts for me and my pals. The truth is, these trickle-down policies do nothing but make the rich richer. In fact, over the past 40 years, corporate profits' share of GDP has doubled from about 5% to 10%, while wages share has fallen by about the same amount. That's almost $1 trillion a year that used to go to wages for people like you that now go to profits for people like me. Even before these tax cuts, we clearly could have afforded to pay you more. We just chose not to. In fact, on the very same day Walmart made headlines by doling out $1,000 one-time bonuses to a whopping 6% of its workforce, it also closed 63 Sam Club stores. Here's the reality. If Donald Trump actually wanted to give you a raise, he wouldn't have to rely on trickle-down magic to do it. He could raise the minimum wage. He wouldn't have trashed the overtime regulations that were set to pay you more. He would have given you the trillions in tax cuts, not billionaires and giant corporations. It actually seems like he didn't want to give you a raise. Now, usually, trickle-downers like Paul Ryan are really careful not to put a number on their promises. After all, you can't be called to account for promises if you never promise anything specific. But this time they screwed up. They gave you a number which gives you an invitation to get up out of your chair, open the window, stick your head out and yell, "Where's my $4,000? Seriously, have you gotten a $4,000 raise in the new year thanks to all those offshore profits coming home? Did you nab one of those great new jobs the massive new corporate tax breaks were supposed to deliver? Do you know anybody who's actually gotten a $4,000 raise? I didn't think so. Share this video if you're sick of waiting for your $4,000 raise.